Merry Christmas Eve. Happy holidays. Yeah, how's everyone's night going? Hope they are going perfect. I did not think about this really. I started organizing every object in here, well, reorganizing every object. However, I cleared it out so much that I feel really out of place just standing in the middle of it. Maybe I should put the table back though. First things first, I have to do this. Got a ton of pods, I'm not necessarily sure what to do with them. But I wanted to start scanning them in, at least for the art. The empty. Well, shoot, these are full. Scored these at a thrift store. I know I showed them before, but it's the last thing on my desk that has to be put away, and some of the art is just out of control. Closer. Let me make sure this is on. Now, this was slightly before my generation. Wow, these are perfection. Ooh. These are slightly before my generation, so these would have been like my cousins. Hello, Glass! Merry Christmas! I planned on doing Christmas and oh wow, there's some dry daddy long legs in there. I planned on having Christmas with my parents. They were gonna come out here and I was going to do the cooking because kind of passing it on now at that transition period where instead of going to their place, they come here. However, my dad's back is completely out and wow, it's really nice. Nice combination of our cats. My dad's back is completely out. Ever since my mom came out of a coma, quite literally, she can't drive. So it being such an intense distance, we reworked the plans a little bit. So for Christmas, I decided to reorganize every object in here because years and years of like, especially the crafting that I do, like with a lot of beads and wire and stuff like that. Like I found a bunch of bracelets that I made and just started hanging them here. There's a bunch here. What is this? Oh. My grandpa. This is light. With a lot of these really nice lights that I'm starting to get back using, and with more room, I should be able to get more done. That's a theory anyway. This originated as a storage unit. It's kind of, or a storage room, and it was just totes and stuff. And eventually, it was like my whole life. All my apartments are usually essentially just creation stations, as I like to romanticize them as, and yeah, it's essentially a closet and a factory. And I always said that like a warehouse would be ideal, a warehouse with roller skates, and there would be a station, like a painting station, a soldering station, and it would be all open, can't lose anything. And long story short, where did I leave off on that? Oh, I just never finished really unpacking, so I didn't have all my supplies out, and unfortunately, I kind of have to have everything accessible at once, because if I'm making like a bracelet, it's never just beads, it's always string, like clasps, then beads, any charms, and the charms could be like with resin or yarn or a bunch of different materials go into it. So very inspired by all-you-can-eat buffets and how everything's accessible and open and fresh. So, God, I really feel awed in the center of this. I've never had something. And I could probably skate in here. Got these up off. I keep meaning to try to learn, because I can skate, but I can't like do the spin really fast, and that's a huge goal of mine to learn. I keep putting it off. Where is this gonna go? This for $5. I just asked the lady how much it was, and she's like $5, and I was like, damn it. I would feel so weird passing this up for $5. And there's a hole in it, but they use that to hang from the ceiling. It would be really, really easy to plug that up, but yeah, I can hang it somewhere. Yeah, it was so sweet. I like make like some like weird rainbow thing with old yarn, so it's kind of faded. And I should have made a list because I forgot. There's some Kynto stuff I well, it'll come to me. I did want to show this before I put it up. I might actually not put it up at all. I might attach a wire to it and hang it from the wall. I made this in 4th grade. I couldn't find another battery to demonstrate it, but grade 4 is my mom's handwriting. Yeah. God bless, why did I almost say Restaurant Depot? Radio Shack. Restaurant Depot too. I think it should be way easier for me, to be perfectly frank, to get a Restaurant Depot card. Oh dear. I would just never go to a supermarket again. I'm trying to like simplify the diet down anyway, so I could get bulk, and it's just not sustainable getting like trying all these different meals every single night, and like which I've always tried to cook like that. Like one night it'll be some form of pasta, and the next night some form of rice dish. Next night like specific dishes, and I don't know. I guess a lot of that ends up being carb heavy and just didn't have any energy. And yeah, I'm either bouncing off the walls or deep sleep. So trying to start with quiet, slowly getting everything put away so I can start a bunch of new stuff. My grandpa took this picture in the 70s. It's seen better days. It's a little warped, but I'm working on flattening it. Hello, Walter. Making crabs. Oh, hell yeah. Audrey is outside, enjoying her probably last revolution around the sun, honestly. But I finally got it clear in here, so I could get back on resin charms. And yeah, every item. And usually when I organize, a lot of stuff ends up in these bins. And like, here's an example in a bag. Here's an example in bag form. And it's just random. Like, this is really nice. Oh, sun pendants. But every time I do a project or make something specific, any of the scraps kind of go in a bin, and then, you know, if I'm short on beads, I'll sort it, and then it's like I have a bunch of brand new beads. But I feel like every crafter or artsy type has a little collection deposits. Here's a true bin. And this is the only one left. This is the last one left. And like, this is the messiest because it's the stuff I didn't get untangled yet. And like, this is, gosh, probably like 15 years worth of crafting. So it's not the worst. I've been at this since I was a kid, and like, I still have beads from middle school. Some things I'll just use 1 or 2 beads on it, and I rarely make the same thing twice. I just, I hate to say, I don't know if I really specialize in anything specifically. Maybe resin crafts, I think that's my, the one I feel like most people would be like, oh, that's cool. Like, I don't know if most people would like this. It's quite nice, though. It's just a charm. I mean, you could even wear it. This shirt is from the 60s, so maybe I shouldn't drive a thick pin through it. But, I got this in middle school, too. I don't know how some stuff survives and some stuff looks like. Let's see. I haven't stained this yet. I haven't figured out what I wanted to do with it. This is just an example, or not example, an experiment. Got these here. Here. This is for soldering, and this is the wood burning one. These thin tips. And I think they're about 50 bucks each, but sometimes they mark them down really low, and they're just really worth having. And able to repair a bunch of stuff and make a bunch of stuff, and yeah, it comes out pretty decent. I mean, this is just, I actually started making this for a waffle or a raffle, and yeah, I was gonna use, where is it? It's down there. I have a big old gnarly jar of iron liqueur, and there's a website called So History that's, excuse me, power chug some iron brew before you came in here. There's a website called So History, and it's a fantastic resource. Shows a really good article about iron liqueur. It doesn't expire, and all you do is, I believe it's 1 part to 3 parts. So 1 part vinegar, just white vinegar, to 3 parts water. And then just any rusty bits you find. Rusty nuts. Rusty nuts, rusty bolts, screws, anything. And you just walk down an alley, or like kind of an industrial area, find any rusty bits you can, and throw it in a jar with vinegar and water. And you can use that to blacken leather, to age wood, to make it look kind of old-timey. And which I haven't succeeded in getting like a satisfying like look with that. It kind of just looks like it was soaking in well water or something, per honest opinion. But if you put like if you sealed it or put oil, I think it would look really good, because I haven't done that yet. I don't know how to yet, but that is one thing I do want to learn, is how to seal wood, I guess, and make it last forever. As much as I love like finding raw wood pieces and like watching them accumulate all these beautiful marks from decisions, but sometimes you'll find something in it, I don't know, or make something like a little spoon and it looks like crap, but as soon as you like put the oil or varnish on it, it like comes to life in the videos. But I haven't tried that yet, so I really want to try that. If anybody has any wood varnish, what's it called? Recommendations. Yeah, I'm a little thrown off today because I thought my parents were coming, so that's where all my brain power was going. My hair's... Oh, hey, maybe since it's Christmas Eve, we could do Christmas cracker. I did my first Christmas popper or cracker the other day, and I got the bigger half. I can't find my huge stash of them, but I found a few lingers. I'm a huge fan of these little like toys that you, like Fun Depot. What would you call this? Like prize toys? I don't know. It's just I don't know. And like I have a few bags of, oh, it's, oh, I found, I'm really stoked for these. I wish I got or found them before. I really like cinnamon candy. And these are probably just straight capsaicin, so they're probably not going to taste very good, unfortunately. But, I thought that was so clever. I really like old-timey candy, and it's the buttons. It's like the paper, I don't know what they're called, dots, I think. Can't remember. But when I was a kid, I did not understand them at all, because it's physically impossible to get them off without getting a ton of paper. But, you know, now I appreciate them maybe a little too much. Where's these? Maybe I should put them in with these. It might be a dragon. Of sorts. It doesn't have to be shiny. It can be plastic too. Here's my sea monkey jar of, you know those eggs? What are they? The Kinder eggs. We don't have the proper ones here, but we have the ones that's like half and half. And I always, if I give half the side with the chocolate to Snapple and I keep the toy. That's, yeah. They're really expensive now, so I don't get those unless they're like buy one get one. Also, pro tip, the Spanish versions have way better toys than it. Where is, oh, I think it's in here. Was it that? No, it's not in there. Shoot, it's in the room. I know it is because I just saw it. This big plastic ant figurine. It's fantastic. I'm probably going to put it on a hair clip or something. I've asked Santa for your legs. Oh my god. Is that... Wait, what's his name? What's his name? You're not in Chips by chance, right? No, I'm just kidding. I always jokingly said that I was a shy guy, because I am, but, so, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I found them. In all seriousness, though, thank you. I don't know why I can't ever just take a compliment without glitching. It's just feels too so noticed. And these 5 different. Oh, okay. Well, okay, 5 different things you could do with one type of wire. They're not staying. I don't know if you can really see it, but they're coiled really nicely. And it's not with the power drill or anything, I just did the, what's it called? Ooh, this one's hammered with just a ball peen. No. The round side of a hammer. Because the ball peen hammer, that's the thin, skinny ones, I think. This one looks like a straight drill bit. This one I think is the best though. And this is just copper wire from a fire pit. And if I have a piece of steel wool, let's see. Oh, I do. It shines right up. And I've been working on trying to get this wax, but And honestly, when I have some spare change, I just kind of forget what is on my crafts list. But there's this stuff called Renaissance wax, and I have to find the website. I really need to make a page on Subtropical that has all these websites, because it's just highly valuable. It's a website with every color of the rainbow and every like chemical combination to achieve that color for bronze, copper, and brass, I believe. I think maybe silver might be on it. But for instance, you could put like a piece of copper, soak a paper towel with ammonia, and put that in a plastic bin, and then put like something on it so your copper piece isn't directly on the thing, and make sure it's super clean, like super clean, and oil free. Whew. Shoot, do you put ammonia on it too? Well, I know you put salt, and then the ammonia, like vapors plus the salt, you'll get cobalt blue. And it's how to like make any patina on purpose. Patina, and I guess to oxidize things purposely into certain colors. I don't know the proper verbiage there, but really cool website. I wish I could figure out. I think I just look up patina recipes and find it that way. But really, really fun to work with. Every single time I got a really cool color, though, nothing is that color anymore. It's just back to kind of like a dirty brownish copper. And that's because copper is a really dirty metal and a really reactive metal. So you really need like a varnish or a wax or something. I haven't tried resin. I'm not sure if that will do. I put a little piece of copper. I mean, I've put copper in a few things, but there's some copper in this. And it wasn't the cleanest copper, but I can't see. Maybe. Alright, so that's that. Oh, there's that lizard hunting hardcore. That actually, like, wow. I guess I will be keeping this out for, I believe this is for, see, I thought it was for photography because it was in with my grandparents' stuff, but I think it's for thread counts and quilting. I'm not sure. That's pretty neat. We've used it for all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna regret that. And yeah, it stands like that. And it's got 4x4, yeah, 4x4 square in there. Really, way too many. I used to have one of those like Arbor Freight head things with all the magnifying glasses. They're way less than $10. I don't know now, but they're really useful for splinters, for any like everyday like things. But yeah, repairs. It's like a visor, and you'll see like a jewelers or like repairmen using them. I don't know where to sit. Let's see what else. It threw me off so much because like I had just like I was like super mentally prepared for my parents today. It's, I feel like every human on this planet, like, it doesn't matter, that's always stressful. For some reason. And, this is really hot out. Still haven't gotten any of the sewing machines to work, but I have been looking for a pedal, so there's some promising stuff there. Let's see. I spent like, I was meaning to pop on streams for the last few days, but I went so hard in here because I didn't want to just organize it. I wanted to really organize it and start just from scratch, meaning I sat there for days organizing bead by bead, and I found all kinds of things that I had no idea I had. And I thought these would be sweet to show. I'm so thankful to have found them. These, I believe they're called Faces of the Dead shells. I wish I looked that up, but aren't they? They're so eerie, but they're so beautiful. And I believe the shop's name is on here. Midnight Blue. Inescapable. Midnight Blue. I believe they were like $10 or something. I can't remember. But she has them on an eBay shop and on Etsy, I believe. And I haven't been able to find the shells anywhere else. And it's a divination set, so it comes with 18 of them. And it's got, you know, traditional purpose, which I thought was the most beautiful thing ever. I grew up seeing a lot of people using cowrie shells for advice seeking. That's what I kind of think of it as. Let's see. I tried to make these. This is a Celtic divination system. I wish I freaking remembered what the sticks are called. Yeah, this way I had it organized. Mental reset. I'm so stoked. You get back to work. Just never really finished organizing. And this is one of the most beautiful things that I own, in my opinion. I really like collecting stuff, and a lot of the stuff that I find is in junk drawers, but the gold numbers and the old wood dice. I just have one of them. Gosh, my face is so tired looking. I can see it. Oh, yeah. I've been practicing guitar again, so my fingers are rather raw. No, I'm not. I finally made it. I've never been to a Comic-Con before. And I finally made it to one, and it was the greatest time. It was a spiritual experience, honestly. It was so positive. Everyone was so chill and nice, and just like the coolest stuff. And so many junk drawers. So many junk drawers. Junk drawers to me could be a cardboard box, plastic bin, anything. It's like the stuff that like isn't really worth individually setting out, and it's just like a bunch of random stuff. I oftentimes wish I could buy the whole box, because that's where the best, like, the stuff that I'm looking for anyway is. Like, I started one of my own. Oops. But I've never really made my own junk drawer, but I haven't been to many yard sales lately, and I'm having severe withdrawals. So. And it's absolutely stuff. Like, this is from a bag, but what a cool mechanism. It's a little wrist bag, and it would have a mesh sack attached. Let's see. I love it so much. I want to disassemble it on a stream with nice music. It's weird because I'm so used to not having any space on the phone, so I haven't really, like, it's like I haven't thought of any videos to make, and my old phone was just absolutely full, so filming and editing was just not possible. But now that back to square one and absolutely ready to go. This thing is really so high up there. Why would they do such a thing? It is handmade. Found a bunch of really old. Oops. Just that dust chilling on me. Found a bunch of really old German pens. I thought they were really cool. And really, really old ones. Some Italian ones and some where was it? I think New York. Like I said, I started, or not, like I've said before once or twice, I started working at a vintage store when I was 13, and I didn't work for money. And mind you, before that, I was already collecting vintage antiques. So I grew up playing, I wasn't too into video games until I went over to my friend Dylan's house, who is now a carpenter. And I played something so life-changing that to this day, it's got such a grasp on my passion in life. I was really, really into archaeology when I was a kid, to the point, like, a neighbor got me the archaeology magazine subscription for like 10 years as a birthday gift every year. And so I had a file system of manila folders from the 70s of every, like, culture, religion, anything. And I didn't have the internet. So what I'd have to do is go to school, a little Catholic school that tried its best to get every other religious book out. But in 4th grade, I found a book on Buddhism, like, in the back of, like, a forgotten thing. And I was always too afraid to check it out because I thought they weren't going to let me, so... Anyway, they had a ton of really old National Geographics, so I would always just go through those and write down anything new I didn't know about a country I haven't heard of yet. And yeah, and then one day they threw them all away, so I called my dad and he brought the truck, and he still has hundreds and hundreds of them. Some of them are from like the 20s and stuff, National Geographic, really old. And it's fascinating going through it because, you know, I don't like the idea of tossing old magazines, but I also don't like the idea of collecting them because I've had a big collection before and it was just a nightmare, them knocking over. They're super heavy. I still have a stash of like 1920s to 40s or 50s magazines, and anyway, it's the advertisements. The advertisements are really, really fascinating to go through. I wonder if I have an example here. Real magazine? Where would I have a magazine? Alright. Well, I have to rain check on the magazines. I've got a big drawer, but those are deep within the garage because they are falling apart, but the advertisements are solid and they're really nice to put into like resin crafts. Like, I found this scrap of paper and I just threw it in there because it's got like that clear 1940s font and it says hydrodial, precision humidity and temperature indicator. I know scrapbook, the scrapbook community and other collectors call ephemera. Even this Mod Podged onto a collage or anything, this tiny little scrap is just golden. I'm not a hoarder. I'm a curator. One day. Need a few more shelves for that. That's what I'm working on now, is trying to get more shelves. My favorite shelf, honestly, are the record shelves, where it's like cubes. Because then you could put like things that have to, that if it doesn't have anything around it would fall in them without having to like fill up a whole shelf to keep things from falling, especially books, or having to get a bunch of bookends. But which are fantastic inventions. And how was I going with that? Yeah, so I'm trying to get like 2 of those. 1, 2. 2 and 2 halves of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. To get everything just organized. I think that's my next move now that I finally organized every object, because I had a bunch of stuff in boxes and I couldn't really just toss a box without knowing what was in it, and it was just so many projects that I didn't finish. I have a whole basket over there of just projects I didn't finish. It's a good example on top. These, I made a ton of these earrings. I just clipped them onto a piece of plastic so they didn't get lost. But this is the reason why Mr. Resin is superior. I don't know if you could perfectly see, but they have 0 shine to them. And they were still tacky, and they have this really gross looking film over it. This is what Amazon sells in the UV resin beginner kits. Absolute trash. And Mr. Resin is not only superior, but extremely affordable for what it is, and it's very clear. Not only can you use it to make jewelry extremely easy, like this big old case, which usually I feel you would stick to smaller pieces with UV resin, but if you do it, I collect shiny. yeah, that's what it is, not a yeah. I do collect shiny, but I don't discriminate. I have many active collections right now. And some of them are just not necessary. Like, for some reason, I seem to be building a collection of these. You never know how severe something's gonna be. Like, this is hands done. Hand done. And this is hand done. So now I really thought they were really nice together. So now, I swear if I see something similar, it would be coming home with me, because the process has begun. And these are another favorite. I always pick these up. These are Carpenter's rulers. I have a ton of them. These are just the 2 that I actually use. But I thought of this was like magic as a kid. Yeah. It's taller than I. Very neat though. All that length and just like a little chunk. You'll find these at thrift stores a lot. I've passed by these a lot. And I'm sure they sell modern versions. This one looks very new, but can't really tell. Yeah, this looks really new. Cause look at that, like rainbow-y. I don't know if that's like a true method of dating something, but I just never really noticed it on stuff. That's old. I should look that up because, what is that called? All I know is like grounded, maybe? But that like the rainbow. Like the grounded screws are kind of rainbow-y. I don't know what's what. Got thrown for such a loop. Oh, I do. Okay. I found the rest of the my favorite incense I've ever made. And it's self-burning incense. It's got rose, gosh, a lot. Like you could see the chunkier bits with the copal and the rose and the lavender, and oh my gosh, there's no oil in here. Yeah, it's so fragrant. Carved this, well, not really carved it, but shaped it with some sandpaper. There's a big flat cinnamon piece. So it's like, oh, that has to stay as a spoon. This I found on eBay for I think $10. And they were like on the rest of the site was kind of like clothes and stuff, but they had a few more. I think they probably just found a box of them. And this has been such a joy. I'm so stoked just to finally have organized everything. Like every bead, every little piece of string. Because even little pieces of string I will reuse, and those will go into little stitching crafts or embroidery. And so oh, it worked for some. Do you hear it? How sick is that? Loose leaf incense, no coal, no chemicals, self-burning, just a tiny little pile of it. And it smells incredible, no artificial oils or anything. Plant matter, some white copal. There's probably some like frankincense and myrrh in it because I like to include those for symbolic reasons. And see what's happening is you just add, oh, okay, so this probably does have a little saltpeter in it or potassium nitrate because I have a lot of fun with it. It's so fun. And I think I have a short of this little thing just absolutely losing control. Really fun stuff. And I do sell incense kits or trade. In this economy, it's trade, barter, and all that. I use a lot of natural like objects and like feathers and stuff, and I don't like to buy feathers at all. I don't think I've ever bought in feathers unless I find them at a yard sale, but I'm not gonna buy feathers on Amazon. What the fuck? Sorry, but like the thought of like buying ostrich feathers on, I don't know where they're coming from, and so I'm like pulled out of something. I don't know how that works. Never looked it up. But like all the ostrich feathers I use, a friend found me at his uncle's house who has like 20 peacocks, my bad, peacocks in the backyard. And because here in Florida they're everywhere, and I've known quite a few people that had tons and tons of peacocks. In Palm Beach County there's a road called High Ridge, I believe, and there's tons of peacocks. And very casual drive is right by that nature preserve that I've been mentioning recently on Hypalex. So with the cistern, they filled in the cistern. I forgot to mention that last time. But it's still historical. And the gopher turtles are always worth a visit. But the High Ridge is right down the street, and there's tons and tons of peacocks. And oh yeah, so if there's any self-Freudians somehow here, I am in the market for a used car, preferably a Honda. When I was in high school, I was enamored by the Honda kids. For lack of better terms, the Honda kids. They would have like a plain like normal little Honda, and like the next time you'd see it, like it would be like some lights here and there. Next time you see it, it'd sound a little different. Next time you see it, it'd be like vibrating with sound and music. Next time you see it, it'll be like peeling out, because it's like like a Lego set. That's what I kind of pictured it as. And I got spoiled easily living. I really like public transportation because I could sit there, write, draw, listen to music with headphones, observe the world around me. I love it. But moving farther from the coast, there is zero public transportation, and there's not even Ubers. And so yeah, so I didn't work for that. I really had no interest in having that. But yeah, real world will always be the real world. Yeah, I can't walk that far. I can walk pretty far, but I can't walk that far. Gosh, I can really tell that. I've never gotten into like skincare or anything like that, so I don't know how to look less tired. Yeah, I haven't tried pressing cold spoons on my eyes yet, so maybe I should give that a go. Alright, preparation 8. That's what it said when I looked up how to make your eyes look less tired. They're like hemorrhoid cream, duh. Which, you know, after using like 2 seconds, it made sense. And I remember people using that, like sometimes here's a lemongrass braid. I'm going to burn it. I make thick ones, and I just, you know, I put them in the incense kit. I'm working on one. Let's see. So, what it has so far is got, I quickly crocheted. I made a few different color ones, but I crocheted these. I'm not the best at crocheting, but I really do enjoy it. And so I made some of these for, and it comes with, so far, wormwood, mugwort. So I got your artemisias. Just some real like traditional folk tradition rose petals, which next stream, I've been watching videos all day on it. I'm going to try. I have a huge bag of older rose petals that I could use for incense, and that's fine, and for stuff like that. But I always wanted to try to make rosaries, rosary beads with the rose petals. I think it's like a 15th century tradition of making rosary beads with rose petals. And I do know there's like a few people that still make, I'm sure a lot of people still make them, but like where it's like their thing, their core thing. I think it's called Chapel of the Rose. I found that when I was looking up the recipes. It was so cool to see clay being made from rose petals. Really cool. Some black salt, which is some saltpeter and sulfur, which missing one ingredient away from gunpowder, honestly. Alright, it is what it is. Olive oil. This is just an example one, so I'm not like worried about messing it up or anything. Lemongrass and rue, both of which I grew. And I grew the rosemary. So, lemongrass, rue, and rosemary, all from here. And just some of these. Really good practice. I really like folk traditions from anywhere. I do not discriminate, like, in any facet of my life, naturally. And I didn't even realize that until, like, modern days. I feel like such a prude now. Like, sometimes I just, like, will read through comment sections, and, like, all I can think is, oh dear, oh dear. Like, what the hell? Well, it's like, that doesn't make one a prude by any means, but, I don't know. I don't know. I was popping on to say hello anyway. I felt hunger just strike, so I'm afraid I'm going to start rambling. So I wanted to wish everyone happy holidays and, of course, Merry Christmas Eve. And what else? I do have to... I was going to do the last crystal of the advent calendar, but I'm going to make a mess. So, sorry to awkwardly stand here for like about an hour. Yeah, about an hour. I didn't realize how different I was going to feel without a table. Ooh, this is one thing. I have found yet another thing to collect, and this is for scrapbooking. And wow, I'm going to be digging through trash all night. I did not think of this until now. Envelopes, the privacy envelopes that have the fun, hectic chaos designs inside to obscure the writing on the letters. They're all different. Well, obviously they would be. But for scrapbooking, and some are red, some are blue. I found a red one, but I don't know if it's important, so... Isn't that nice? And this one? Very nice. Because stuff like this, it takes zero room, and eventually I'll be able to put them all together. One other thing is I've been cutting these off of boxes. They're the palettes. The palettes are the colors that are used on the boxes themselves for packaging. However, I'm trying to find, I have a bunch of these tiles, so I'm going to put these all over the tile and then put resin on top of it. So I have a table with all these different little bar palettes, and I'm going to be cutting them out way better, but I thought that was really cool. And I really like trying to come up with different ways to use byproducts. A lot of the cardboard boxes get used for weed blockers, for plants, and what else? Oh, and like just like crafts. Where is everything? I put everything away. But yeah, cardboard works really well for all kinds of things. Like little cinnamon roll thing. But you know what? If you had to like spruce up your kids' like back to school supplies or birthday decorations, you just grab label paper, like you'd print shipping labels on. Label paper, draws anything on it. Label paper onto the cardboard, Mod Podge, and you could paint the other side. I painted the other side blue. And it's just fantastic medium for, I mean, this is just label paper on cardboard, and it's, you know, it's nothing permanent, but this goes onto my little garbage can. But I dropped a hammer, and it hit it perfectly, and it fell off. But it doesn't look like something that would come for a kid's birthday or something. Or like a newborn, like a baby shower. And I'd have like a bouquet of diapers sticking out of it. I don't know. And it was just a plastic bottle. I'm not kidding. There's no craft shops out here. And I cleared all the craft supplies on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. So if any yard salers out there, I'm in the market for any form of craft supplies, and I will trade handmade goods. Certain shells, if there's any like shells specifically that you go for. I think that's my number one goal, that I really want to start bulking up, but I know me, and I know I'm not going to get very far doing push-ups because I just stop and end up scrolling my phone or something. I suck at dancing, zero rhythm, but that has been the easiest way to get real exercise in, like where you're actually like like I don't mind like carrying heavy things. I don't always claim free exercise because it's just that yeah, like I can't do many push-ups, but a week moving logs, and like I need more like physical stuff, and blowing rock you could climb there, and it's pretty much the only place that you could climb that's outdoors, and it's a bonus because I include beachcombing as a huge part of my job. For real. Yeah, so and can't think because I'm hungry now. I hope everyone has a really beautiful night, and yeah, I have found them here. I'm running out. Well, I'm running low. Give me 1 second. I got you. They're like big holes. They're like medium holes. Singular holes. Some people know these as hagstones, and some know them as Odin stones. And there are tons of different traditions, and if your culture or origin point has a tradition of its own, please share it, because I really love finding it. My hair is just not... I really need a haircut. I've always cut my own hair, but just haven't in a long time. And that's the point that's bothering me. I've always had bangs. Ever since I've succeeded in like leaving that life behind, I am desperate to return. So, yeah. I might look very different very soon, but perhaps I will be a kid, of course. But yes, so one of my favorite traditions is like using them as kind of viewfinders to see into the, oh, what's the name? To see into the world of the fairy world. There's all kinds of traditions and all kinds of names. God, I just look so tired. Okay, I better eat and like wake up or something, cause I try so hard not to look at the camera, cause I really like fashion, but like I don't know, I just I like, I don't know, I like clothes, I suppose, and but I don't know. About the, like, I don't know, I'm not the most self-confident person, I guess, in the world, so I try so hard not to make direct eye contact with myself, because when I do, I'm like, oh. Every single human being feels that, I'm sure of it, and so that's, yeah. Neither here nor there. Let me just get something. I just fired up the, let's see. Thank you! Yeah! Finally got every single piece organized. So I'm very stoked. World's a hella dark place, but wow, it's nice. I feel so strange in it almost, because everything is just like ready to go. And so the first thing, I think I really messed up this Christmas. I wanted to make Christmas ornaments, but every single year I say I'm gonna make Christmas ornaments, but never get to it. But I want to make some larger pieces, and really with scraps, because I think the biggest aim I have right now is, I guess, just showing anybody that you don't need craft supplies to make fantastic items. And the majority of my pieces are made out of electric copper. And that's a nice little dazzling thing for those who are inclined. And got some lava rock on there, because then you could put essential oil on it. But I make a very large assortment of stuff. I really prefer doing custom stuff, and 90% of it is scraps and salvage, and handmade is the other 5%. Let's see. It's so hot in here. I can hardly breathe. But so a lot of jewelry, a lot of incense, a lot of plants, and slowly getting my old nursery back up. Snap has been out there pulling cranberry bulbs out, because ever since Blue passed, I have not been out there. Too sad. I haven't even visited his grave yet, and it's like crushing my soul inside. So it was really easy to get this done, organize everything. I'm telling you, 3 days, bin after bin, and box after box, bead by bead, scrap of wire by scrap of wire, because every single thing is useful. So even like the smallest scrap of copper wire, I can't bring myself to toss. All the copper scrap. I even keep the tiny little bits, because these tiny bits, it's so hot in here. These tiny bits, I just melt down. And then when I melt them down, they turn into these really beautiful ruby red little blobs or spheres. Do you still sell? Oh, I absolutely do. I just got my Etsy back up, but really I just do it through Instagram. And usually I'll post something, and then people will just DM if it's available. And if it's not, I'll either make the exact same thing or something similar and even more tailored to that person. Because that's what I like the most. I used to just make stuff and throw it on Etsy, but then I started making pieces where like someone would want a certain stone in it, because for a certain like birthstone, and I just like making things. I already tried to make things special. I feel like every crafter and like crafty person is inclined to do so, but it's just so much more fun, and to work with people and make really nice pieces. And I do barters, trades, no prices final or solidified. That's why I do prefer to do it through Instagram too, because Etsy, like, you can't haggle on Etsy, and I can't even message on Etsy to be like, just go to my Instagram or something like that, because they have like filter bots that get really upset. Like, it's crazy. Long story short, I lost my bank account because there is no bank where I live, and I don't have a car currently, and it was just long story short. But on eBay, I was scrolling through eBay, and the woman that I started working at a vintage store when I was 13, and Miami Beach Vintage Downtown Lake Worth is what it was called, and then Vintage Mecca in West Palm. The woman who owned them, I found her on eBay. I couldn't believe it. I just saw a random listing. I'm like, oh my god, that's her. And it was her. But she couldn't message me her Instagram or this and that, or like phone number or anything, because of the filter bots. And I meant to buy something, but never ended up getting like, what I'll do is I'll just go to Walgreens with cash and get a gift card to do online, which PSA for people in the same boat that screwed their finances up. What was I saying? Vanilla gift cards do not work with eBay anymore. For some reason, they said that, I called them and they said something odd. It's so hot in here. It's kind of like a storage room, and usually it's quite nice, but, whew, I'm a shy guy, so when I get to talking, and especially, like, this has been such a huge godsend. Y'all are really, like, I don't know, pulling my mind out of the pits, because we're such social creatures as humans, and this spamdemic just, what a shit show. Anyway, like, gosh, whole life traveled in groups, so this is pretty much the extent of my social life, which I'm very, 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 very brutally grateful for. I really think everyone should have a channel. I did want to mention that I keep forgetting to mention, if anybody does want to be on these streams, just message the Instagram, and I could send a link, not only through here to do mobile streams, and it would be half screen, but also through Kynto, Kynto, and Kynto was its name. Oh, it's got the same amount of letters as bingo. Kynto, and could stream through there also, and if you stream through Kynto, you could share screens, and do listening parties and stuff like that, because here we get booted. Life is a bit rough right now. That's why, also too, in the last few days, it's just been like kind of in a down mood, and I feel like at first I was even thinking about having a little news segment of like what I see happening, but I don't see any use in it. I think there's so much happening right now that all like any civilian could do is to refine their personal lives and like take better care of themselves, because you can't care for anybody or help anybody unless like you're good, and whether that be physically, mentally, anything, and maybe like some hobbies for even not for like to kill time or to like distract yourself, but to have something like because like I feel like there's no way a lot of people, like the majority of humans, are anxious right now. Like, we went through hell for the last few years, and like before that it feels like utopia almost. And God, see, we all have PTSD after this shit, I swear. But anyway, long story short, I didn't want to bring anybody down online. I don't want to bring anyone down online, so I try to only come on when I'm like in my normal state, because sometimes I gotta just avoid the news because it's too much. Like I won't give an example. Like the headline today, why it was just like I was like, you know what, fine, I'll see the news. Never mind. But yeah, so my main focus. No! I got snagged by a zipper. My main focus is not to stay distracted, but to make the best. And I've always wanted to get into not necessarily teaching, but like some form of like group where it's essentially like show and tell, but it's like, what fascinating, incredible things did you learn today? Share it with the group. And then, you know, or what incredible thing did you make today? Even if it's like, what did you have for breakfast? Like stuff like that. I know it sounds so basic, but everything is so separated right now and like sterilized almost. It's very strange. Like, I hung out with an old friend of mine not too long ago, and it was so different. It was so different, and can't explain it. It was like we were in tubes or something. It was just, yikes. Where did I put it? This caught my eye. I have to tune it and dust it. My uncle Mad Dog made this. My picture fell off of it, but I have it somewhere. And it says Frankenstein, God loves you. And did you feel it? He made this for me when I was in, I think, 8th grade. And it's a few different guitar parts. And he painted it to try to make it match, but really, really cool. And it's one of my pride and joys. Not at all tunes. I'm actually trying to get him out here sometime. It's just so hard to plan with my family members, but I cherish them dearly. I'm the black sheep of my family, but I'm kind of ending up being the shepherd because everything just fell apart and everybody kind of just like I don't know how to explain it, like a firework where it's like poof, but then like the stragglers like fading into nothing. And oh, have a perfect day. Oh, very cool. John joining around. I think I read that differently. Have a perfect rest of the day and Merry Christmas Eve. And yeah. Gosh, I could never think in here when I get to this point. It's a mix of drinking too much coffee with no air circulation that made this. And I moved my fans somewhere. This is from the 60s. Isn't that fresh? It's so... My poor pillow. Been finding it everywhere. There's been a breach in one of the corners. This I keep my... I was obscenely sad when I was a kid. The time has come where I prefer to spend my days off in solitude. Solitude? In the Lake Earth Public Library. I think my mind has made up for the decision. I guess that was a mess up. I used to go to the library a lot. They had a huge typewriter, and I'm not exaggerating when I was a kid when I say when I was a kid I did not have internet. I was one of the only people I knew that did not have internet. And so I've always been really decent with using books for finding information, because mind you, not everything is on the internet and not everything is in books, and some books were only published for a few years, so you like have to get lucky and find them used online, which is, you know, what does this mean? This is my childhood poems. Okay, so beauty or whatnot a greater pair of words, if must, say things in which you please to aim, and when you play the role of man, or when you hear your voice all of the time, the tip of your finger will do the role so tiresome to pursue. Go ahead, wear me out, to I, this is a systematic act of new perception, indulgence, and the times I don't indulge, don't get me wrong, you have beautiful eyes, but that I tend to shake off. Fingerprints in California fires, and once again the earth shook. Lay in the grass a while. You were born here with nowhere to go, so lay in the grass a while. Morning glory of the east on the south of the beach. Desperate grassland made concrete, but the same plain. Round it a few times and you'll know no difference between that warm home feeling and the warm alleyways and pink skies. Growth, survival, and again rebirth. Okay, so I used to capitalize words that I deemed important because I believe in German, like all subject, like specific things are capitalized. God, I wish I did not sound so dumb when I spoke. I didn't get to take a communications class. I actually wanted to go on Omegle to start like just building social skills. But Omegle's no more. I put it off too much for too long. Growth, survival, and again rebirth, birth of freedom, all it is on a sphere. What happens on the sphere stays on the sphere. Strange trains is how I may feel, no complaints and deserved. I gave him nothing but a feather. And that one had to be like it's an hourglass. Yeah. In the face of youth, what is it worth? Some amount of words, to say the least. Lean away and astray from the known concrete feeling, from surrendering to retaught, relearned knowledge. Not exactly sure what I meant by that word. Jesus Christ. Apparently, in middle school, I needed raw virgin land today and tomorrow because the land in whole is and will be a diseased pig. No one called my parents. Jesus. Teachers, I'm suing you all. I'm just kidding. But seriously, can you imagine? Done, sir. This is fun, sir. So quite literally all it says. I have a lot of modern. This stuff is very, very old. This is another middle school one. As a declaration of youth, I will stay as I remain true, through fault as well as disbelief. I falter myself as well as times. Through time I must put it, through times I must throw in, and a moment more, when the youth strikes the spirit of youth, all time low, a few steps under. A must to think and feel back, possibilities up to the limit of impossibility, inconceivable what a small fucking work it is, and will always be. A wish for a few thoughts, feels back, and a wish for the comfort of home. No one should recognize this moment of dead air, should have never had spoken. One word, kill, spill. A thrill not nor never remembered. Another wish for a voice so particular yet so far. Feels for nothing there, shit feels for another piece less to the ignorance of youth. Look, as well as love, laughter, always fades. I never used to call like anything I wrote poems or anything like that. I used to call them notes. That's it. I guess that's why. Hey! That's me and Jeff Wrigley. I printed it out. Here, I got to see Thursday, and they were fantastic. I used to love Thursday in middle school a lot, and they happened to be in Fort Lauderdale, and I was like, I cannot miss that. And I went, and Jeff Wrigley just like walked out, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, his face used to be on my wall when I was a child, and I ran after him and got a picture. He was very nice. I just couldn't believe it. Everyone just like, no, not a single person was not even like, yeah, man. It was strange. Okay. I am sweating. Cajones. Merry Christmas Eve to all, and I hope you have a beautiful night. I'm very, very hot, and I can't breathe. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not, but happy trails, beautiful people, and yeah, maybe, honestly, I really need to do a giveaway, because that's, like, my meaning in life, my mission in life, and, so, I'm gonna try to figure out that. Maybe, like, I guess for Christmas, could pick somebody to, like, make something highly specific for, and if you like it, it will be very, rewarding soulfully. Happy trails.